Welcome, friends, to the very first Fireside chat with Lord Reginald. I need to apologize in advance, friends. The majestic beast, he's being very cantankerous today. He's very rambunctious, and I greatly apologize if you hear him. He is the majestic beast after all. But enough about that. Let's dive into Pestilence. I absolutely loved this book. Went not to my regular LCS, but I went to another in the town that I live in. Found this book. It was recommended to me by the LCS owner there. And this is Pestilence. It's an Aftershock comic, written by Frank Thierry and drawn by Oleg Okanev. I must apologize to him. I'm sure I just absolutely butchered poor man's name. And this book is set in the year 1347, during the Black Plague. And it follows these mercenaries right here. I call them mercenaries, but they're not. They're in a church-sponsored assassin's arm of the church. Fiat Lux, which is an absolutely fabulous name. I love it. This gentleman right here, this is Roderick Helms. He's an ex-crusader, along with this gent here. There's Jeffrey Antiel. He's says strong as an ox. He's a huge ginger. Love that. Followed here by Giovanni Domenico. He is devout and cold, very much so. He's a chief assassin. He comes off like your typical assassin. And this gentleman is James Howard. They call him the Jester. He himself is a bully chap, someone you'd want to spend time with. It's a very jovial nature. And this bloke is Abel of Cyprus, quiet and reserved, mainly because of the secret he keeps. I wonder what that is. And this lonesome guy here, this is William Moore. He's the brains of Fiat Lux, which is looks like a very bookish friar. It's fantastic. I love him. So as we start to go through this book, you can see it's a mature book. There's a lot of bloodshed, a lot of violence, some nudity, which I will be skipping that page, of course. Don't want to offend the youngins. And it starts off with them being basically being sent to take care of this warlord who is supposed to be taking care of something for the church, as it were, to this rogue kingdom. And as you can see here, he's, riding with his men, doing a little pillaging, little raping, little torture, taking the treasures for himself. All around somebody I would not want to spend time with, this gent here. So he, of course, recognizes Roderick. I'd imagine he is a knight of some acclaim. And he ends up being done in by our friend the Jester here. Good night, Irene. This follows with just a bit of a scrape, but as they let in the church's army here, the men, they quite agreeably throw down their arms, which I would as well, faced with the church's army, quite frankly. So afterwards, we have our lads, possibly lass, wandering off into the desert as they see this lone rider just kind of hanging about, not really doing much of anything. Gets greeted by our jovial friend here and bite. quite a nasty looking wound as well. So as you can see, gets a dagger in the back, does nothing. They contend with him, so to speak, and deal with him. Now they find out that he is actually a messenger from the church with some orders for them, and sending them back to the Vatican, which, as we can see here, so we go back to Vatican City, it is quite simply, as it says there, hell on earth. And the plague of zombies is there. I must say that I absolutely love this book. This might be the most favorite book that I have ever come across. I was very impressed by this. The art reminds me of something of Humberto Ramos, the art that he used to do. I absolutely loved Crimson with the vampires there. I loved that book in the 90s. So this book is fantastic. I absolutely love this. I would say that this read for me is just as good as any 90s X-Men comic that I read. Of course, you know, I'm just my opinion, don't want to step on toes or any of that, but to me it's just as good. It very much engaged me. It spoke to me in many levels. Makes me really want to check out some more Aftershock books. I've not really heard of Aftershock before. I've been out of the game for some time, as they say. But if these are written nearly as well as this, and this engaging to me, I would most definitely check this book out. I actually have the second printing here. As you can see, mature readers. And it is a very mature book. I skimmed through the pages quickly because I didn't want to reveal too much. I wanted to give the very basic of it. I didn't want to read it out. It is mature. It is not for children by all means. It is full of a lot of cursing, but the cursing is not gratuitous. The cursing seems to have its point. It adds an emphasis to whatever the character is saying, which I like, you know, not just cursing for the sake of cursing. Extremely bloody. Like I said, some nudity, which, of those things, I love mature books. I must tell you is my fancy. I can't say enough about this. Please go check it out. It is a 6-episode run, with the second run starting up very soon. And as soon as I'm able to, I'll be covering all of these. Also, before I go, I wanted to say thank you for watching this. My next video, my next Fireside chat will be on my setup here. This is my modeling room where I paint and assembled Gundams, and I'll be doing a setup video, going over my Gundams, all the tools I have. We'll be going over some very basic techniques, maybe a tutorial, a beginner's tutorial of some sort. I'll be explaining what the paints do, what they can be used on, etc., etc. That's really all I have to say today. Again, thank you very much for watching, and have a bully day.